on the left, communication, switching and distribution center, allowing NASA to communicate with all the other centers around the country. Building on the right with the antennas on top, CIF, Central Instrumentation Facilities. In that building is where they recalibrate all the sensitive instruments from the shuttles and other facilities here, bring them all back down to zero so they can be used over and over again. Tall building on the right, canister rotation facilities. That's where they rotate and process the vertical payload and then set it out to the launch pad in a vertical manner. This building on the right here with the blue piping is headquarters. Our director, Bill Parsons, out of his office there. He oversees the workforce here of about 50. Check out the parts that are being processed for the space station right inside that building. It takes about a half an hour to go through that building once you get there.
The Star is a solid rocket booster recovery ship that was built by NASA back in 1981. The primary purpose of recovering the solid rocket boosters of the station. I'm fortunate enough to work here for 23 years, and I like to think I had one of the coolest jobs on the Space Center, short of being an astronaut. Ships leave port about 24 hours in advance of the launch.
Discovery, roll for left.
And the separation of boosters is about 2 minutes into flight. As they separate, they start their long bubble down. And it seems like those parachutes are never going to open. They start to open around 2 miles above the ocean surface. And the ships are completely deployed, remaining parachutes per booster by the time the booster hits the water. And that's when we spring into action.
Impact. We're proceeding inbound at this time. I watched the nozzle extensions deploy. Let's go in.
We see this 30-foot tower bobbing in the ocean. About 30 foot of them is above the water. About 100 foot is below the parachute. We secure it on deck, and then we're ready to start our dive operation. That dive team is going to be contending with a booster that could be surging up and down the water as much as 12, 13 feet. Timing's critical, and it's a pretty hazardous job. One of the most dangerous of anybody out here in the Space Center, with the exception, of course, of the astronauts.
Okay, what that person is doing in that harness is going through the booster through a hole in it, checking the solid fuel level when it's out. Over here on the right at 2 o'clock, can you see the gantry? Actually, there's a gantry we're actually, a building we're tearing down. You can see most of it's gone now. Can you see all the framework that's coming down, folks? That's the VIP building. What's left of it, the vertical integration building. We used to assemble the Type 4B rockets in that building. We don't do that anymore, of course. And right behind us is the pad. Can you see the white tips of the Lockheed masses? That's pad 40. That's a Lockheed Martin Type 4B pad. In the future, Elon Musk, the CEO of SpaceX, will be launching his Falcon 9 rocket over there. Next year, he should be doing that.
Did you see it? Yeah, I mean, isn't that it right there?
Now, this is where you'd watch a launch. It's around $60 to watch that launch. You're about 6.5 miles from the pad, and the shuttle is to your forward right, about 2 o'clock. Can you see it over there? We're going to get off the bus here for just about 10 minutes, folks.
Okay.
Take that little black book with you, the one I gave you. Sorry that I couldn't give you more. Feel very bad about that.
There it is. You can barely tell. From the causeway. There's the empty one. Look at that. That's pretty. I can hold still.
Here's an example of a truss
after Russia and the United States.
and an example of the Canadian on
We were also the second.
Here's an example of our unit, for example,
Part of the conquest of space. After all, of all the countries in the world, we were the third after Russia and the United States to develop and operate our own satellite. And we were also the second nation to be invited on a space shuttle mission. I know, I was fortunate enough to be there. But without a doubt, to date, Canadarm has become the international icon of Canada in space. And that is why today we have been called upon to play a crucial role in the largest cooperative venture in science and technology ever undertaken in history, the International Space Station. Canada is contributing one of the station's most essential components, the mobile servicing system. This system is made up of three elements: the mobile base system, the large manipulator arm, and the special purpose dexterous manipulator. It will be used to assemble the station itself. The special purpose dexterous manipulator, the hands of the station, is a natural extension of the Canadarm technology and will perform maintenance and servicing for the station. With the special purpose dexterous manipulator, or SPDM, we are creating a truly intelligent robot. That is to say, it can see and perceive its own physical strength. As a matter of fact, although easily controlled by astronauts, it imitates human dexterity to such a degree it can perform even the most precise operations while reaching places that would be impossible to the large manipulator arm. This liberates the astronauts from these tasks, leaving them free to concentrate on research. And the special purpose dexterous manipulator means Canada will play an even more critical role in one of the most important chapters in the history of the conquest of space.
Wollen wir noch besser wie die Autos?
see the building where NASA makes all their major decisions.
Bis jetzt bin ich noch nicht verhungert.
Aber
danach werden wir uns
Okay, so I'll show you. Over here on the left-hand side is that little white building with a black window and 60 meters high, 52.5 stories. Inside the building, the stories are 15 feet. So when I say 60, the 16th level, each level is 15 feet. Normally it's 10 feet in a regular building. Would you like that? Yeah, we like to tease them over there.
Ihr habt somit nicht mehr als 2 hier, oder?
3, glaube ich.
Is the oh yes, matter of fact, you can get it. Yeah, that is. I don't know how you get to it right offhand, but you. And one of them likes shrimp. I forget which one it is, but they really like shrimp. The barbecues are big. Yeah, I like barbecue myself. Thank you. Oh, I wouldn't doubt it at all. I saw somebody had an engine that looked like the barbecue thing. And I was thinking about, so you wouldn't even have to stop at McDonald's if you had something like that in your car. Charcoal your food right there. Okay, now folks, I'm going to show you the crawler transporter over here on the right. There it is, made in Marion, Ohio by Marion Power Shelter Company. We have 2 of them. There's one. Weighs 6 million pounds. Top speed is 1 mile per hour unloaded, but when it's loaded down, it goes a half mile per hour. That's one of our 2 crawlers. We're getting a new super crawler in about 10, 12 years, and it will be a lot better than that one right there. But it's for the big rocket here. It's 5 rockets. We need one because there's 5 rockets. And there's another alligator. Matt, is there anything to see up here?
Okay, folks, if you look in this cove to the right here, you might see an alligator in there, manatees, or some ducks. We call it the gator hole, so I'll just go a little bit slow, see if you see anything there. Yeah, there's a large alligator right there. A nice gator right there.
There's a clump of trees to your forward right, pine trees, and the middle one at the top is an eagle's nest. Let's see if the eagles are here. There's the nest right there. See it right there? It's getting larger all the time, isn't it? Yeah, they're gonna. I wouldn't be surprised. Now this runway is identical to the one in California at Edwards. They're exactly the same. Ours is like theirs, theirs is like ours. There's the control tower over to the right. That's where they would be seated to watch the landing. Now the families would be on the last bleacher over there, or between the last 2 bleachers, on a red carpet sitting on little folding chairs with an awning over the top of it, one or the other. Just before the landing, about 150 people gather here with about 25 or 30 trucks to make their final plans and preparations right here. They have to get those vehicles in the proper sequence because once they get out on the runway, they don't want to have any problems. Here's the runway, 17,000 feet long, the less qualified. The runway itself is 15,000 feet long, but on each end of the runway is 1,000 foot of reinforced asphalt as an overrun. So 17,000 foot long and 100 yards wide. 300 feet wide, but you can only see one half of it because it's crowned. So 1 foot drop from the center line down to the side. And that's the camera right there, by the way, under that white thing. So you see across over there, that portalway over there? That's for the camera person. There's another one in front of us. But this is the runway. You can see the 1,000-foot markers. Folks, the concrete in this runway in the middle is about 16 inches deep. On the side, 14 to 15 inches. But where they land is about 5 feet. You know, cut them all the way. And normally don't tell us, but there's steel and everything involved in that too. But you can only see one half of it. You can see 50 yards of it because it's crowned. It's crowned on purpose because when they land here between 213 and 226. And when you land over 200 miles per hour on water, hydroplane. So they drain it off fast by dropping it from the center line down this side by 2 feet. They make sure of a straight shoot because you cannot crab in the orbiter. When you get in an airplane, you can crab when you come in with the wind, crosswind. You can crab, or you can put a wing down and land on one wheel and bring the other wheel down like this. You can't do that in shuttle. You have to land evenly or you blow up time. Now, folks, there's 3 people in the space station right now, and the space station itself is trying to be pulled back to Earth by 91% of Earth's gravity. space station is in a lower orbit, between 100 miles and 200 miles above the Earth. This is considered down. This is down. You're diving down. And by diving, you create that microgravity. Let me prove to you. In Houston, Texas, at Ellington Air Force Base, we park an airplane there called the Vomit Comet. Have you heard of it? Anyone? There's a cockpit of one that you can look into to see what it looks like. Think you landed on the moon in. And there's a lunar rover that they practice with on the Earth. You can see that too. This is called the Banana Creek viewing area. There's Pad A directly in front of us, 39A in front of us, 39B to the left. This is where the invited guests of NASA would watch the launch. Mrs. Laura Bush and Jeb Bush were here for the return to flight launch on July 26, 2005, when Alan Collins launched on STS-114 on Pad B, and they were seated in Section A, right down here on the end. And the reason why we have these birds here, these vultures, they will have a bird's eye view of the next launch. Oh, okay. Now, folks, over here in the corner of the building are some bleachers for mamas and papas and brothers and sisters, and you're allowed to sit on them. Folks, you're not coming back to this bus, so be sure you take every...
Come down here and meet the people that actually work on the orbiters and get us ready to fly and get us flying safe. There's one thing that they all have in common, and that's their love of the space program and their dedication to getting the shuttles flying, getting them flying safely, and continuing on with this great mission that we have of exploring space.
The orbiter will spend the next 90 days right here in the orbiter processing facility, where we'll spend approximately 300,000 work
Hey
hours.
folks, if you look to a hard right, you're going to see a large flat gray object with large tracks. That's the crawler transporter 102 that we have here at the Kennedy Space Center.
You got to follow procedure. That's the main thing. Safety is the most important issue when it comes to working with the every procedure you work with, take it as being the first time. You don't want to get too comfortable doing it because people make mistakes.
Okay, to the right, folks. Let's see if Bubba's out here. No guarantees.
The shuttle is really the building block for further exploration. You know, we use the shuttle
There's Bubba.
to the space station. Eventually, we're going to go on to Mars. From the shuttle and the space station program,
Folks, on the next video, they'll be showing you the landing strip. The landing strip's located to the left on the other side of the airport hangar. The landing strip, 15,000 feet long with 1,000 feet overrun at each end.
China was the alternate. Really? Because it's much more efficient than having to get the thing up, paint it, fly it back.
Why did you do that? I want a pair of shoes made out of it. You'll find is that it's a very demanding job. You have the physical environment that you're in. You have to, be constantly thinking ahead what's next. What's in my procedures, high tasks, running checklists, talking to the other crew members. We also use the T-38 to fly shuttle dives. It's work, it's focusing, it's being very exact in whatever mission that you're doing that day, and it's great training for us.
Makes you say that.
Okay, folks, welcome to the Apollo Saturn V Center, where I'll be dropping you off out front. You'll see a set of steel doors with a countdown clock overhead. Once the countdown clock reaches 0, the doors are opened and enter the building. Short, brief movie to watch in that first section. Then from there, you go into the firing room, a reenactment of Apollo liftoff. Folks, you're going to find that extremely interesting. Then from there, you go into the main exhibit hall. That's where there's a 363-foot Saturn V rocket on display. Folks, you'll find that absolutely amazing. Also, they got the moon rover, most of all the moon rock in this building. These bleachers coming up on the right, folks, those are reserved for dignitaries and invited guests to come watch a shuttle launch. Across the river, 3.5 miles, launch pad 39B. To the right of 39B is launch pad 39A and the shuttle Atlantis. The shuttle Atlantis was scrubbed yesterday because of 2 fuel sensors of 4 that showed inaccurate readings in the large orange external tag. See these black birds on the right, folks? I have a lot of people ask me about those birds. Folks, those are black vultures. We also have turkey vultures here at the Kennedy Space Center. We refer to the birds as NASA's roadway cleanup crew. Some of the drivers call them politicians. If you would, please stay in your seat till the first.
In these tan buildings right on the left side there, there's 3 facilities, 1, 2, and 3. Endeavor is in building number 2, and Discovery is in building number 3. Number 1 is empty because that's for Space Shuttle Atlantis, which is on the launch pad.
There's very good habitat. They're vegetarians and they're feeding on aquatic vegetation. Bald eagles arrive in the wintertime. Seems a little bit odd. They're following the food resources. The migratory birds that are coming in the corn during the wintertime. The chicks are usually hatched in December, and it takes about 2 or 3 months to leave the nest. These nests are huge in some cases. You could easily lay in that nest. It's like the size of a king-size bed. In the spring, they usually leave. Often some eagles around throughout the year, but most of them leave in the summer going north to other parts of the country. Most of the area is undeveloped, natural, and the impacts from massive operations are minute.
All right, where I explained back there where the space shuttles were, those are called the orbiter processing facilities. They're basically hangars, and that's where they'll bring the space shuttle after their mission, bring it into the orbiter processing facility and decommission it from one mission and then recommission it for the next mission. So Endeavor in building number 2 right now is getting ready for the February launch. They've already started the assembly of that space shuttle in high bay number 1 of the vehicle assembly building. They'll take the space shuttle, the orbiter, Endeavor over there about a week before they roll it out to the launch pad, attach it to the external tank, and then roll it out to the launch pad about a month before launch. We're going to take a look at that bald eagle's nest you just saw in the video, about 3/4 of a mile ahead on the right-hand side. Florida has the largest population of bald eagles in the nation, except for the state of Alaska, and we have 16 active bald eagles nests here at Kennedy Space Center. These eagles can live in the wild anywhere from 15 to 40 years. Average lifespan is about 25 to 30 years. They do mate for life. If one does survive, the other will take a new mate at that time. The nest that you're going to see has been continuously active for almost 40 years, and each year we get 1 to 3 new eaglets out of this nest. The eggs hatch out around the end of December. About the end of March, the eaglets are flying. Around the end of May or the first part of June, the eagles migrate up into the Carolinas and return in the fall, usually in September. Up ahead on the right, you can see a group of trees with a tall pine sticking out of the top. About 100 feet to the right of that is another group of trees. 15 feet from the top of the tallest pine in that group, right in the middle, you can see a large black ball. If you look at these two double sets of tall utility poles, right between the third set right now, you can see that nest about 1 o'clock out of the front of the bus.
Trying.
Now, there probably are eggs in the nest right now. It takes about 35 days for the eggs to incubate, and they're hatching out at the end of December. There aren't 35 days left. Another indication is that the eagles have been remaining fairly close to the nest lately.
We're going to be coming up on it.
Nest coming up right there about 2 o'clock. You can see it through this gap. There's an eagle in the tree right above the nest also on the right side. And look back through this gap right here over your shoulder through this, by this large utility pole, you'll see. Did you see the eagle up there? All right.
I definitely got it.
There. In the southwest corner, you'll find the Davis Center, which is a museum of early spaceflight. Dr. Davis was our first director here at the Kennedy Space Center. Of course, it wasn't called Kennedy Space Center in those days, but he was the first director out here. On the east side of the Rocket Garden, you'll find the Nature and Science Center. Inside, you'll find the recreations of some of the flora and fauna that you'll find here at the Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge.
What? I don't know.
part of the same. Whoa, whoa! That was so cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't take much.
I know. I thought that was awesome.
Shaky and out of focus, I'll be bummed. Birds are. There they are. Do you see them all? They're like the boats, like chasing them. Jumping. Oh, look, he's like going right over the boat.
In front or behind the boat?
He's behind now. He was.
I've caught several of them.
Yeah, they're still playing behind the boat. They're like,
Yep.
You see all that big splashing going on? Right where all the birds are.